Most AI platforms stop at automation. Texa goes further than that. It doesn't just respond to your leads, it helps you understand them. In this video, I'll show you how to use metrics and analytics features to not just track calls, but also capture what users feel, how ready they are to buy, and what's holding them back. Once you've set these all up, you'll see what's working and what's not, which will then help you make smarter marketing decisions. Let's begin. All right, everyone, to go ahead and get started, let's click on the Analytics tab. As you can see, the analytics page is just basically a dashboard of your agent's stats. It shows the credits used, total minutes, interactions, and total conversations, user retention, and so on. You can filter all of that using a time range, let's say the last 7 days, and it should reflect accordingly. Right now, it looks so very simple and basic. But if you want to add complexity and more insight, you can really leverage that by going to metrics. And as you can see, I currently have 3 metrics that I set up for this particular agent, which is a dental appointment setter. Think of metrics in Texa as labels and tags that help you track what happened during a call. For example, here I put sentiment. So after each call, I want the agent to determine whether the interaction was positive, negative, and neutral. I went further and even defined what neutral means for me. So I said neutral is when the caller does not express something positive nor negative during the call, but speaks in a business-like transactional tone. Positive, on the other hand, is if the user has at least one positive thing to say about the company. And if you look at the setting, it is enum, short for enumeration, which means that there are fixed categories. In this case, positive, negative, and neutral. There are other metric types: number, boolean, and string. We're going to talk about them one by one. So you choose number when you need exact values, for example, pricing. If you want to sort, filter, or calculate, do any mathematical operations, you choose number. Now, another type is Boolean. Boolean is basically a simple yes or no or true or false value. You want to use this metric type if you're answering a yes or no question, true for yes, false for no. And in this example, I want to ask if the appointment was booked after every call. So this is my setting. This was the name. Metric description, you want it to be as descriptive as possible. This is a yes or no answer. That is why I chose Boolean. Here I put another enum to identify why the caller did not book. These are the settings. So booking barrier for the metric name, identify why the caller did not book, use only if no appointment was made. So every time you put in enum here, by the way, you will be presented with an option to add a category. I put no preferred time available. If the caller declined because no times worked for them, that's one reason. But if the caller, for example, they say, oh, it's too expensive, I'm not gonna book, never mind, then in that case, it'll be tagged as a price concern. So based on the transcript, the AI is going to interpret that and tag the call accordingly. I'm going to show you in action how to add a new metric. For example, I want to add a conversation summary. So I can put convo summary as the name. And for the description, I'm going to say this is summary of the whole conversation. In this case, I'm going to set it as a string. So you want to use string when you want to record something flexible or free form. You're just going to click create metric and you're going to see that reflected. I'm actually going to add another enum and I'm going to name it intent to book because I want to track how many people call with the intent to book an appointment. This classify the caller's intent to book an appointment based on their language and behavior during the conversation. I'm going to set it as enum because I want it to be a category. And the first category will be high. I want to set it to high if the caller directly asked to book, requested available times, or confirmed an appointment. Medium, on the other hand, if the caller asked about services, pricing, or availability, but did not commit to booking. And another category is low if the caller sounded unsure, was only browsing, or expressed no immediate interest in booking. So I add that and click on create metric. And there you go. Currently, I have 5 metrics. I'm actually going to show that to you in action. I'm going to call the agent right now, and you will see how the metrics work in action.
Thank you for calling Pure Care Dental. This is Jennifer. Would you like to book an appointment?
No, not really. I'm Ashley McDonald, and I'm just checking the pricing of your dental cleaning.
The price for teeth cleaning at Pure Care Dental ranges from $80 to $150. The cost can vary depending on the complexity of the cleaning needed.
Wow,
Is there anything else
that is actually pretty expensive. I've seen clinics offering it for $30 to $40. So maybe not. Never mind.
I understand, Ashley. Prices can vary between clinics based on the services included and the expertise provided. If you have any other questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask.
Not really. Bye. All right. So as you can see, this is automatically reflected. I was that customer, Ashley McDonald. You can even see this exchange real time. If you look at the right side, these are the conversation metrics. Intent to book. The customer was not really looking to book. She was inquiring. It was probably set to medium at first, but then at the end of the call, she was just sure that she didn't want to book because of the pricing. So now it is set to low. The booking barrier was obviously price concern. The sentiment was negative. Was the appointment booked? False. And here's the conversation summary. The user inquired about dental cleaning pricing, found it expensive compared to other clinics, and decided not to book an appointment. In a regular call center setting, this is what we would call as ACW, or an after call work. The good thing here is the one doing all that work is the agent itself. So it's very convenient and efficient. Descriptive summary too. And this happens automatically after each call. Now, let me show you a really cool feature. Let's go back to the analytics tab. Because we already have the metrics set up, we can add custom charts. Let me show you how that looks. Click on add custom chart. Let's say that I want to see a chart showing the booked appointment versus the ones that were not booked. I'm gonna choose bar, name it booked versus not booked or something like that. And then this is the ratio between, okay. As you can see, the metrics are reflected here, and we're going to choose was appointment booked and values to display because I want to see a side-by-side comparison. I'm going to choose true and false. Chart width is just for the UI, and for this icon, you can just choose anything really, and just click add metric chart, and you're going to see a new chart here. And right now we're seeing 0, but you just change the time range to, let's say, last 7 days. And you're going to see that reflected. So as you can see, April 21st, 01, but April 19th, 8 appointments were booked and 5 were not. You can probably also add a, let's say, pie chart to see the reasons of customers not booking. Reason for not booking. We're going to choose the metric booking barrier. And here we only have 2. This is how it would look. You can also use a donut. Overall, this is a pretty cool feature to understand your users more deeply. For example, this booking barrier metric here could be used to determine the most common reason why customers do not book. Let's say that the top reason is that no preferred time is available. Then it is a cue for the dental clinic to start investigating and see if the possible reason is because they're overbooked and patients prefer appointments that are only a few days away from the date of the call. The analytics and the metrics tabs are definitely going to evolve over time. This is for now the first version of it, but this will definitely become more and more nuanced, detailed, sophisticated the more updates we roll in. And if this is still not enough, in my next video, I'm going to talk about leads and campaigns. Leads and campaigns are basically features where it saves all your leads, the leads who called you, or you also have the option to import them. And you can set a campaign for them. A campaign is allowing your agent to call each lead one by one based on preset instructions. For example, a few days before the appointment, I wanted to call each patient and confirm the appointment just to make sure that there's a higher chance of showing up. In this case, that's the initial prompt. These are the instructions I'm going to give the agent. This is going to be in a separate video, but watch out for that to see it in action. So if you're interested, go ahead and watch this tutorial at the top. And if you have questions and comments, suggestions, leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. Thank you for watching. Bye.